tell me something you did was good. Please.
That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening.
Fucking. Well, I'm blowing my shit smooth off.
Your dick? You're just gonna rip it off like that?
No, I was gonna use a 22.
Oh.
I'm going plinking.
I have a pellet gun.
Ugh. Oh, shrapnel? No, thank you. What did you land on for this month? Because you were bouncing around.
I'm going with it. I'm full send. Alien Isolation was developed by Creative Assembly, known for a bunch of Total War games. And after this, they went on to make Halo Wars 2 and more Total War.
Thank fuck I don't have to change the thumbnail.
You're welcome. This game was published by the Sega Strippers. This is going to be a running joke now. It was released in 2014 for the PlayStation 3 and 4, Xbox 360 and 1, and Windows. I played it on my PlayStation 5, which means the loading screens were really, really fast. The story follows Amanda Ripley, Ellen's daughter. The flight recorder from Ellen's ship has been found and brought to a space station, basically a space city, called the Sevastopol. Amanda is offered a spot on the team that is going to go pick up the flight recorder with the hopes that it can be played back and everyone can finally know what happened on the Nostromo.
This definitely isn't the premise of like 8 different Alien properties being like, what happened after Alien?
Sevastopol is in clear disarray upon arrival, with few people compared to the size of the station. Amanda finds the flight recorder, but it has been corrupted. Fast forward through several levels of sneaking around the space station to avoid looters, hostile helper androids, and of course the alien that is right there in the title, and Sevastopol goes boom, and Amanda narrowly escapes. There's a lot I skipped over, but I'll get to why. First things first, the visuals are incredible. The game looks a lot like the original movie. A lot of the same technology is used, and the whole game has that Alien series aesthetic that makes it timeless. Computers are crunchy and have an old-ass text-based GUI that glows green so brightly into a dark room. Dust plumes through the air. The save points are a data card that has to be pushed into a machine on the wall, kind of like an old time card companies use to track working hours. The xenomorph himself looks good, a nice shade of black and the right amounts of slimy textures. For sound design, the sounds are right there with the visuals. This sounds like an Alien property. Simple computer beeps and bloops. The keyboard and punch cards are crunchy. A lot of the game is based around sound design, down to the point where you can softly hear people moving around in the next room over, like through the door, or the alien banging through the vents above, and even your own shoes quietly squeak as you're crouch walking room by room, which I found to be annoying, but after a while, but still, it's there. The sound design is this game's strongest factor towards immersion. But speaking of immersion, now in gameplay, I really sucked at this game, and that took me out of the immersion. I played a bunch of levels on medium, the game's recommended difficulty, and then dropped it all the way down to baby story mode and still couldn't do it. I'm not patient enough to play this style of hide, sneak, run gameplay. I tried, but so many dumb, annoying deaths leading to long sections having to be played through again just made me quit. Like, when I'm replaying the same half hour of a level, I lost interest. The AI of the alien is my biggest complaint. I understand it's a design of the game and game style, but logically, if I hide in a locker for half an hour without making a sound, and the alien is pacing, trying to find me, eventually, he's gonna fuck off to another part of this space city. There are trains on this city to get from one side to another.
Train.
Shut up.
Like Dead Space, they had the tram.
So many times I got trapped in the locker I was hiding in because the alien was pacing literal circles in front of me or around 3-ish rooms. I never felt fear of the alien. I often felt like it was a cheap death from the game, and sometimes it was clearly my own mistake. Apparently shooting a gun makes too much noise and I shouldn't just stand there. Whoops. I also felt frustrated that I was basically helpless, that if I saw the alien, I was fucked, and I would just stand still to die quicker and start my retry that much faster, instead of trying to run away and hide. The few times I tried to run away, the alien flawlessly ran me down, or magically knew which locker I was hiding in. I would go a couple of rooms and hide in a locker, and he would walk right up to it and open the door and eat me. Like, the fuck? Exploring was kind of boring. It has a basic Metroidvania feel to it, the game. You can't open this door until you have the right tool. Ooh, I can open that door now that I'm backtracking. Every single door with a lock like that has its own animation, and it's the same animation every single time. And it makes so much noise that seemingly doesn't alert the alien, but I'm not allowed a short jog across a room without alerting him. Like an empty room, little to the save point, boom, he knows right. There's a crafting system that seemed fine. I would relate it to The Last of Us Part 1. You can assemble random junk you find into jank tools like noisemakers that you can throw in some effort to distract bad guys. I really found it helpful. The alien instead enjoyed shoving his knife tail through my chest. I made it halfway through the game before giving up, and while there had been a few memorable parts, a lot of the game up to that point had been, oh no, we need you to go through a series of rooms and hallways to do or get the thing, and then come back. There was a decent enough mix-up to the formula, so I guess if I had found the gameplay loop to be fun, I wouldn't have minded so much, but it felt like the same thing over and over again. The game also had me running through... Wow. The game also had me running through a level I'd already been through by the halfway mark. One of the memorable sections, I guess, is going back in time a little bit as somebody else and like doing a spacewalk and walking through a room full of the little eggy things full of face huggers, and finding a huge bit of lore, kind of like Prometheus when they find the big thinker alien thing in the big room, one of those. And I think this game came out before Prometheus, maybe, or right around the same time.
Prometheus was like 2010.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was a cool little bit. That was a nice change to the formula, but it was very short and nothing really happened. It was just like walk through the room, look at the thing. Wow. In closing, this game got good reviews. It has a 79 on Metacritic with an 8.3 user score. I honestly don't know what I missed because I bounced off this really hard. It looks and sounds amazing. I plan to watch the rest of the game in some playthrough on YouTube, but I have no intention of finishing this for myself.